feel free, we'll talk about it afterwards. If you want to start using the methodology that I'm about to teach you today, you need to do these 3 things today. Your choices are they're going to start today. They have to today because you guys are all young. You have so long in front of you right now to make a decision with your life and change whatever you're doing that's holding you back. The number one thing to do right now is to stop selling yourself short. When you have an opportunity, when you have an idea that you know will help you get to your goal, don't tell yourself something negative. Don't tell yourself, I can't do it, or it's too hard. Don't tell yourself any of the stuff that you see on the board. You know why? Because subconsciously, there's a negative signal that's sent to your body that tells you your heart and your mind are not connected to that goal. And what that does is it tells you you're either not going to take action on your goals, or if you take action, you're probably not, it'll be a half-assed attempt. What you want to do is, remember, opportunities or ideas that you know will help you to your goal, the key and operative word is help. It is helping you get to your goal. It's a gift. It's a privilege to have these opportunities. Treat it like one. Start telling yourself, you know what? Maybe I can do something. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I will do this. Now, don't think about success. Don't think about failure yet. The point here is you want to take action on your ideas. You want to start implementing your ideas. Because unless you do that, you're not going to get anywhere with your goal. The things you should not tell yourself. Remember, if you have to learn something to implement your idea, learn it, because no one here is professional at anything, because for the rest of your life, you will continuously learn. Number 2, and I think I have to go through this very briefly, is everything possible is possible for you too. You see, the way in which we are is that we believe we can only do those things that are possible to us. Everything you've done in your life is just a manifestation of that belief system of what is possible in your life. See, we operate it based on our experiences, the things that we see, the things that we touch, the things that we hear. And those experiences, those things that we feel are what we're comfortable with, what we experience. But sometimes, in fact, most of the time, your goals and things that you want to aspire to are outside of your comfort zone. They're things that you haven't experienced yet. For example, have gone on a roller coaster before? A lot of people. How many people have liked going on a roller coaster? What's your name? Yeah. Jeff? How old were you when that? Josh?
Yeah.
How old were you when you went on a roller coaster?
15.
15? Before 15, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So before that, did you feel like you were scared when you saw a roller coaster? Your goals work just like that. Sometimes you don't want to implement your ideas, don't want to implement your goals because you're scared. You don't know what it's like. You haven't experienced it. But folks, when you try something that's outside of your experiences, it comes into your experiences. You start feeling, I like this. Have you been on roller coasters since then? You start liking it, and you start doing more and more of it. That's how your possibilities work. Think about it. 100 years ago, it was not only impossible, but it was ludicrous to think that people could not take flight. 100 years ago. Then, of course, the Wright brothers came along and they invented the first aircraft that helped them get in the air. So you're telling me from 100,000 years ago to 100 years ago, it was not only impossible, but it was ludicrous to think that people could take flight. But now, it's not only possible, but we take millions of flights every year, and we've gone on to space. How can that be? Because the notion of possibility has been ingrained in our mind. We now know that it's something that we can do. Therefore, we do it over and over again. And unless you start experiencing things that are outside of your comfort zone, it's going to remain impossible for you. Number 3. Sorry, I missed the slide there, but this basically shows you that Your experiences, your comfort zone, and sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone. I'll just skip it altogether. Number 3, never fear failure. Everyone around you is scared to fail. You're scared to fail in your exams. You're scared to fail in your career. You're scared to fail in your relationships. I'm not saying you should go and celebrate failure. I'm saying you should prepare for failure. Know that failure is right around the corner. And most importantly, a lesson I've learned personally, the hard way, is failure is a normal, regular part to your journey to success. It is a normal part. And a lot of people have a hard time grasping this. But when I picture failure, when I picture your journey to success, what I picture is what you see on the board. At time 0, you've just set your intention. And as you use the principle that we talked in number 1, which is to take an idea, think positively about it, so you at least take action. The point here is to take action. And as you take action, that's when you start taking baby steps towards your goal. And when you start taking baby steps, those baby steps, they turn into a steep slope. And that steep slope means that you're seeing more and more results. And when you see those results, you know what's going to happen? You're going to see that little dip there. That dip there symbolizes your first failure. That's your first failure. 90% of you will give up at this point. 90% of you will say, this alien thing called failure wasn't supposed to be there. Therefore, I'll either give up or I'll change my goal. In 2005, Steve Jobs did a speech for the Stanford, and he said that failure is just a disguise for success. What we can all learn from that is that when you fail, one step closer to success. Failure is better than doing nothing, right? I mean, if you have a goal, you want to get somewhere, and if you don't do anything because you're scared, are you going to get there? Absolutely not. Don't fear failure. Think about if you just don't give up. Think about if you keep going. If you fail once, and then you fail twice, and then you fail again a third time, but then in the end you succeed. Not only will the fruit of your labor be that much sweeter, at least now you know what victory feels like. And that first taste of victory is the most important one. Because now you crave that taste. You feel hunger towards that taste. And now you want to implement that. You want to keep going with that feeling, overwhelming feeling. Think about it. Why do rich people get richer and poor people get poor? Now, don't think about it on an economic perspective or monetary perspective. Think about it on a mental, psychological perspective. When rich people get richer, they continuously fail first. They continuously fail. And as they fail, they don't give up. They reach their milestone. They reach their goal. And at that goal, they feel that overwhelming feeling of success. And that becomes their new standard. That becomes their benchmark by which they live by. And they start reproducing that feeling over and over again. The exact opposite happens for people who are poor that get poorer. They try something, they fail, but they give up. And when they give up, they subconsciously feel that this is going to be the end result every time I try something. So their standards keep going lower and lower and lower. The people on the board require absolutely no introduction. Steven Spielberg, did you all know that Steven Spielberg 3 times before he going on to being the highest grossing movie producer and director of all time? Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job. It was said that she was unfit for television. That's actually pretty funny to me. And J.K. Rowling, who's my personal inspiration, went from being a broke, single mother, divorced, on welfare, to creating a multi-billion-dollar empire in the span of a decade. These people not only failed, these people failed multiple times. Not going on to succeed, but changing lives, changing the world around them. Folks, we all have the ability to do magnificent things. We all have that ability. Whether you succeed or in your endeavors or you fail, it all boils down to the decisions you'll make in your life. If you want if you want to start seeing success, if you want to start accomplishing your goals, then you have to start changing your mindset. You have to start seeing the potential in every opportunity and not the difficulty. You have to retrain your mind to stop fearing failure, but instead preparing for it. And you have to persist and persevere to overcome your obstacles and your obstacles. You'll feel like your goals sometimes is unlikely. You'll feel like it's too far-fetched. But remember the extraordinary things that regular people have done with the most limited resources. Now you'll feel like they're too far-fetched, but are you going to go after it? Remember, everybody here has their own extraordinary things that you think you can or cannot do. But when I was young, my extraordinary, something that I really wanted in my life was getting a job. To me, that's something so small, and to all of you, that's probably something so small, but to me, that was the world. That was something that boosted me up. And it evolved. My goals evolved, just like how yours will. So don't go out trying to change lives. Do something that you know is possible for you, and do it. Take action, and you have that power. But what are you guys going to do with that power? Are you going to sit on the sideline and wait for things to come to you? Or are you going to take every shred of possibility, every ounce of desire, and live without limits? Are you guys going to grasp the only life that you have and devote every single second to making it such a life that you really won't regret anything? The choice literally is yours to make today. And this is very important because, in my mind, your goals and your life is pretty important.